Every September, Apple unveils its newest gadgets. The iPhone takes the spotlight, but the Apple Watch quietly earns a place in daily life, tracking health, workouts, and notifications in ways your phone cannot. The Series 11 is here, but the real question is, does it truly deserve an upgrade, or is it just a subtle refresh? Let's find out. The Series 10 already marked a shift from Series 9. It was slimmer, came in slightly bigger case sizes, and featured a wide-angle OLED display stretching almost edge to edge. That change made apps, stats, and notifications easier to read from different angles, giving a more engaging, almost immersive feel. The thin and lightweight build meant it could be worn all day without feeling cumbersome, which is exactly what people expect from a device that sits on their wrist constantly. Series 11 doesn't radically change the shape. It sticks with the familiar rounded square look. The real change is in durability. Apple calls it their slimmest and strongest model yet. The Ion X glass is now twice as scratch-resistant, with a ceramic coating on top. If you've ever caught your watch on a door frame, desk, or barbell, this added layer of protection is likely to make a difference over time. So visually, it feels much like the Series 10, but a bit tougher and subtly more resilient. Both watches use the same wide-angle OLED display that made the Series 10 stand out. The major redesign happened last year, so there's no dramatic leap this time. Colors are vivid, text is crisp, and readability indoors and outdoors remains excellent. The key upgrade is durability rather than brightness or color. With watchOS 10, Apple introduced the Smart Stack, letting you swipe through widgets like weather, calendar, or activity rings instead of endlessly scrolling with the crown. It was a small but meaningful change that made interacting with the watch feel faster and more natural. Series 10 was the first watch to come with this feature preloaded. Series 11 keeps the same setup. No overhaul, just smooth and intuitive navigation. Apple's focus is on refinement rather than reinvention, keeping the experience familiar for anyone upgrading. Series 10 already offered a comprehensive feature set: step and calorie tracking, sleep monitoring, fall detection, ECG, blood oxygen measurement, irregular rhythm notifications, and even sleep apnea detection. The training load feature allowed users to see how their workouts affected long-term fitness. For most people, that's already more than enough to cover daily health and activity tracking. Series 11 adds two notable tools: Sleep Score and Hypertension Alerts. Sleep Score takes nightly data, duration, cycles, interruptions, and consolidates it into a single rating. It's a quick, easy way to see how restorative your sleep was without digging through detailed charts. Hypertension. Alerts are the big addition. The watch now analyzes patterns from its sensors to detect potential signs of high blood pressure, and will flag you if concerning trends appear. This could be useful for spotting issues early, especially for people who otherwise wouldn't check their blood pressure regularly. The catch? This feature has received FDA clearance and will also be available on the Series 9, Series 10, and Ultra 2. So while it's exciting, it won't stay exclusive to Series 11 for long. Battery life has always been a consideration. Series 10 offered up to 18 hours of normal use and 36 hours in low-power mode, which often meant daily charging. Series 11 pushes normal use to 24 hours, with up to 38 hours in low-power mode. It's not a massive leap, but it gives users more breathing room, especially if they track sleep. Charging remains unchanged, about 80% in 30 minutes. For people who wear the watch all day and night, this incremental improvement can make life feel a bit easier. Series 10 supported Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and LTE. Series 11 now introduces 5G on cellular models. If you keep your iPhone nearby, it may not matter much. But for those who leave their phone behind and rely on the watch for calls, music, streaming, or navigation, faster connectivity could be noticeable. Performance is smooth on both models. Series 11 may feel slightly more efficient, but everyday responsiveness and app interactions are almost identical. Pricing remains the same. Series 10 launched at $399 for the 42mm aluminum model, with LTE optional. The 46mm started at $429. Series 11 starts at $399, and regional pricing should be similar. The real decision isn't about cost. It's about whether the new features are compelling enough to make the upgrade worthwhile. If you already own a Series 10, there's little reason to upgrade. The improvements, extra scratch resistance, a few more hours of battery, sleep score, and hypertension alerts are welcome, but they're not transformative. Some of these features will also arrive on Series 10 through software updates. If you're on a Series 8 or 9, upgrading to Series 10 or 11 represents a more noticeable jump. At that point, the Series 11's new health tools and longer battery life make it the more future-proof choice. And if this is your first Apple Watch, the Series 11 is the obvious option. But if you find a Series 10 at a good price, it's still a capable and reliable device that covers nearly everything most people need from a smartwatch. Thanks for watching our video. Like, comment, and share with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the NextCube channel.